So guys, till now we've been talking about marketplaces. We went through what marketplaces are, what are the benefits, what are the issues when you're launching your own marketplace. And now what we want to do is actually take a live marketplace and go through it. What we're going to do is we're going to look at Amazon India. It's one of the largest marketplaces, and usually that's marketplace we choose to demo because one, I'm more comfortable with it. Secondly, things are very differently organized, and we want to kind of show you how a real marketplace globally operates. So let's first go through it. We'll look at it from a user perspective first, and then what we'll do is we'll log into the dashboard. We'll see how to upload your products, how to manage your orders, how to look at your performance, your reporting, and obviously before we get there, how to actually do the registration. All right. So getting in there, let's go to amazon.in, okay, because amazon.com is obviously the US one, and we'll look at amazon.in. When we open the home page, obviously, just like every website, there's a banner on top, etc. Where I want to dive in is to actually look at a category, okay, and if you look on the top left, I'm going to click it. You see mobile and tablets. Let's go there, okay, and let's look at smartphones. Okay, now when we go inside smartphones, it's going to show us all the different options for smartphones that they have. And what I want to cover here is on the left hand side, if you see, they have these things called refined by, right? Refined by basically are your different filters, and we've talked about it, right? What are the different filters? And I want to cover some of these refined by because you will understand more about this marketplace, right? It talks about first thing Amazon Prime. I don't know if you've heard, but Amazon's been offering a Prime membership to a lot of its buyers, saying that if you're a Prime member, you get extra benefits, okay? So that's what the Prime is, and not every product is a qualified Prime product. So this gives you an ability to refine into Prime. Now, it makes sense for you to be a Prime seller, right? Because if people choose Prime and you're not a Prime seller, your product is not going to show up. Next, if you look, it says fulfilled by, right? Amazon Fulfill. These are products that Amazon is storing in its warehouse and fulfilling it for the sellers, okay? So, we talked about it that there's multiple ways that you can sell on a marketplace, right? One way is obviously that you can sell it, you can ship it. The other is where you sell it and the warehouse or the marketplace themselves store it and ship it for you, okay? Which is what this is, and we'll cover a little bit more detail in a short while of what this particular program is, okay? But just quickly going down, here are different filters that Amazon has put for phones, okay? For mobile phones, and we chose smartphones, okay? And let's quickly get into one of them because I want to show you what each one of them looks like, right? So what we'll do is we'll look at the first one, right? Obviously, it's a Moto G Plus. It's one of the best selling. If you look at it, it says #1 bestseller in electronics, okay? So let's look at this one. So I click it. Now here are the details about this product. And what I want to first kind of talk about is if you look at this product, right? When we talked about user experience, user interfaces, content, etc., we talked about a lot of these things, and that's exactly what is correctly being displayed here. Because, whatever we said are best practices, these marketplaces are great at making sure those best practices are offered to you, okay? Here, this product is being offered for 14,999 rupees, okay? And it says there are 34,852 reviews, etc., etc. It's available on EMI. They're saying they have a guaranteed 2-day delivery on it, etc. What are the different colors available? There's a white color available. There's a black color available. There's 16 GB. There's 32 GB, etc. But what I want to show is on the right hand side, okay, if we come down a little bit, there's a section called Other Sellers on Amazon, okay? So obviously, one seller is selling this phone, right? If I come back up on top, it says sold by Green Mobiles and fulfilled by Amazon. Now, fulfilled by Amazon, again, that means the product is sitting in Amazon's warehouse, even though it's a Green Mobiles product, okay? And it's, again, out of all the vendors that sell this, Green Mobiles is the one that's showing up here, okay? And if you look at on a little bit on the bottom, it talks about two offers. 1499, okay, 14,999, 3 used at about 10,000, okay. So it's telling you that there's other offers available besides the one from Green Mobile, and these are the prices for those. And if you come down on the right hand side, you can actually see all the different sellers that are selling these products, okay? Now, why I wanted to show you this? So you realize that a lot of times there are products that are being sold by multiple sellers, okay? But how does Amazon or anybody else identify whose name or whose products to sell first, okay? Because not everybody's product can sell at the same time. So what happens is, and we'll again look at it when we get inside the dashboard, okay, there's something called a buy box, okay? A buy box is when somebody's name occurs here, okay? And there's several criteria to the buy box, and one of the largest criteria is obviously the price, right? Do you offer that product at the cheapest price available so that you get the buy box? Now, obviously, if multiple people have the same price, then it looks at many other factors, such as your rating, right? What are you rated? What are people rating you? Because the better rated you are, the more benefit you'll have when you're selling the product. Okay, I hope you guys are getting all of this, because when you start selling on any of these marketplaces, even if you're looking to launch your own marketplace, you have to keep these kinds of things in consideration. Okay, so just going down, again, it also talks about what are the products we can buy alongside, what are the different phones available, what are the different types of products, and then it talks about the product description, what are the similar items. Again, I just quickly am showing you just so that you know how the marketplace actually is looking. If there is information from a manufacturer, it's showing it to you on the bottom. What are the certain benefits or certain features of this phone? It's actually showing again here. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, if you're one of the sellers for this phone, let's say you want to sell this phone, if this phone already exists on that marketplace, you don't need to worry about entering all this content again when we list it in the back end later. Because what's going to happen is, if this already exists, Amazon will pick up the same content, okay? It's not going to get new content from you. It only needs the content for a standardized product once. Rest of the time, people simply just put quantities and price and just list their product, okay? Now, coming back very quickly, let's just go back to our category of smartphones, okay? Again, we can explore some other smartphones that are, again, Amazon fulfilled, just to show you that they basically all look pretty much the same as far as their listing is concerned. Okay, so I'm going to pick this time something that, let's go down a little bit. Let's see if we can find something that's a little bit unique from the other ones. Let's pick this one, okay? And I'll tell you why we're picking this Samsung On 5 Pro, okay? Again, I may not have described it the first time. If you look at the MRP and price here, it's showing you that there is a certain discount being offered, okay? And this is because probably the seller has put a discount on this product, okay? So anyway, we can look at it. One of the things is, if you click this sold by, whoever this sells the product, you will be able to see detail about this seller, okay? So all the bad ratings they have, all the good ratings that they have, even though they have 4.3 stars over the last 12 months actually, and 1900 plus ratings, on the right hand side, if you look at it, some of the more recent ratings actually have bad comments on it, right? Packing was not good, very poor packaging. Then you see the second one. I think this is very cool, because it said the product will be delivered on 26, but there were no updates, etc. Now, Amazon took out this feedback, okay? Even though the feedback was given, they took it out. The reason they took out the feedback is because Amazon is saying that, listen, it was our fault. We were supposed to fulfill it, but we didn't do it on time, or whatever the experience was. So why should a seller be penalized for it? So they took out that 1 out of 5 for this seller. But if you go down, there's some people that get 5 out of 5, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5, and you can see his whole history right here, okay? Talks about his feedback history, how many positives, how many negatives, how many neutrals this particular seller had. If you wanted to see detailed information about the seller, you can click this link that says detailed seller information. It'll talk about what are their shipping rates, what are their privacy policies, etc., etc. The reason I'm showing you this is because when you become a seller, you'll have to set all this up, because it all gets shown to the end consumer that's going to buy it, okay? So every one of these things we will be setting in the back end, and this is where you'll be able to see it. All right. Hopefully this kind of gives you a view of what a true marketplace looks like. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can actually register for Amazon.in, okay, for selling in Amazon. And by the way, for the guys that are saying, listen, I don't want to just sell in India, Amazon today has a global program also, and we'll see that in a second. But if you're on the Amazon homepage and if you scroll all the way on the bottom, right, there's actually a link that says sell on Amazon. Do you guys see that? If we click on it, what it's going to do, it's going to open a screen. It's going to open a page that's going to show you how to register, okay? And let's quickly go through this process because so that you understand, right? Here it's showing you the benefits. Obviously, we've already covered what are the benefits about selling on a marketplace. We don't need to go through it again. The other it shows you is how Amazon works. And if I click on how it works, basically they take you step by step on what are the simple ways of selling on Amazon. Now, this is not just Amazon, any marketplace that you are signing up with, the steps are pretty similar. Okay, you basically sign up, set up your store, start receiving orders from your customers. Either you can ship it or that marketplace can then ship it for you, receive payments, okay, help grow business. And in case of Amazon, they let you sell globally. Okay, like I said, if you're interested to have your product be sold globally, they offer those services to you as well. Okay, now very important, let's look at the pricing. Okay, this is what Amazon's standard pricing is. Now, if you look at Flipkart, if you look at Snapdeal, etc., everybody else, they all have different fees and prices, okay? Here, it's showing you pricing structures by each type of a product that we're selling, right? So if in case you were in, let's say, personal care appliances, right? These are the different fees that Amazon would be charging you, okay? So what are the percent commission that they're charging you? What is something called, they call a closing fee, which happens when an order is actually confirmed. Okay, what are the shipping charges they will charge you? And then they give you a basic sample of what would be charged if there was a product that you were to sell. And here they give an example of a 5,000 rupee mobile phone. And what they're saying is that, listen, a total fee that we would charge from you, including all the taxes, etc., on the bottom here, says 330 rupees and 63 pesos, which means you will net out 4,669 rupees and 38 pesos. Now, this gives you a view, what are my total charges look like? Does it make sense for me to sell on this marketplace? How much money will I be able to make, etc., etc. Okay. Now, one other area I want to talk about before moving on to actually signing in. So, Amazon has a couple of ways that you can sell on it, and this is also similar to Flipkart and Snapdeal and others. One is where you simply come, list your product, sell it, and when an order comes in, Amazon shows you the order, you ship out the order yourself. Then they have another program called FBA, which is listed here. Okay, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. Fulfillment by Amazon basically means you send them your goods, okay, your product, and they're going to store it in the warehouse. And when an order comes in, the order automatically gets fulfilled from their warehouse. Okay, now in that case, obviously they're going to charge you money. Okay, so once you start selling, you can add FBA to your account. You don't necessarily have to decide day one to have it. You can decide later to add FBA to your account. Now, in case you don't want FBA, Amazon has another thing called Easy Ship. Okay, and Easy Ship basically is that you sell it, you want to fulfill it maybe from your office, from your warehouse, whatever, but you want Amazon to be the shipping party, right? So in this case, there's something called Amazon Easy Ship, where they come, pick up the package from your doorstep, handle all the returns, all the responses to the buyers, even collect COD on your behalf, okay? And ultimately it all reflects back in your Amazon account. So here what happens is, even though the inventory is sitting with you, Amazon still will be able to fulfill it for you, okay? By picking it up from your place. Now, once you've decided, I'm going to simply sell on Amazon, whatever, there's some things we would need obviously to start selling, and we're going to start the registration process. I'll take you quickly through the steps of registering so that you guys know how to register and what are this kind of information you need before you get there, etc. So I'm going to click the register now button on top there, okay? And what we're going to see is it's asking for some two basic information right at the top of it, right? It says that to start the registration process, we need to have a bank account detail ready to receive payments from Amazon, and we need to have our tax number, VAT, CST or TIN numbers ready for our business, so that if we sell a taxable product, we're able to do it. Now, obviously, there are certain products and services that are non-taxable, and in that case, you don't need these numbers, but in most cases, most of us will need these numbers, okay? And what we're going to start with, our first and last name. I'll actually use mine, okay? Our email ID, and obviously it's showing me all kinds of my email ID. I'll default that in, okay? Retype my email ID. Let's do that, okay? What is the password? Again, choose something that is secure. Don't create something that's just out of the air. Legal name. In our case, I'm just going to use a legal name that, truly this is not our real name, but just for the sake of our testing, I'm going to actually use Advantage Private Limited because that's the name of the company. And then the last step is your seller agreement. It's asking you, have you read and agreed to comply with the terms and conditions that Amazon is putting forth, right? There's two different agreements that is showing you, Amazon Services Business Solutions Agreement and the Easy Ship Service and Runaway Terms and Conditions, okay? Now, the first one is where most of the large conditions are, and you probably want to print it, read it. There are certain things that you get penalized for and you need to maintain. For instance, how long do you have to answer a query? How long do you have to fulfill an order, etc., etc. You want to make sure you print and read it. In our case, I'm not going to take that much time to do that. I'm just going to say, yes, I'm good to go. I comply, and let's continue. Now, let's wait for the system to come back. Now, first thing it's again asking us is, what are our tax numbers, okay? So VAT, CST, PAN, etc. I said, listen, we don't have any products that we sell in VAT and CST, but I'll enter a valid PAN number for our business. Again, you guys are not able to see it because we've kind of blocked it out, but if you were able to see it, you see this is a valid number, because when I tab out of it, it will go out and double check that the number is valid, okay? And I'll say next. Now it's saying, why are you not putting the VAT TIN numbers and CST numbers? I'm going to say, listen, the reason I'm doing it is because I'm selling something that doesn't need it. But in most cases, you guys would need to put the VAT CST number in so that you would be able to sell in categories that did require that number, okay? So next. Now here, this is something called seller interview. If you look at it up there, okay? And now what seller interview is basically they ask you certain questions, and based on those questions, somebody will get back to you with different options as to when your account becomes live, etc. So he says, okay, which categories do I choose to sell in? I say, you know what, I want to sell books. That's about it. Where do you get your products from? Do I manufacture them? Do I resell them? I sell products manufactured by me, or I import them, right? So I could say, listen, I resell a product that I buy, okay? It's asking you, what is your annual turnover? Say, listen, I'm going to choose something. How many products do I intend on selling? Probably a couple of hundred. And do you sell on other websites? Now I can choose yes, and it'll ask you what other website, or I can say no, that listen, I only sell on Amazon. Now this is tricky. So if you do sell on other websites, please make sure you put yes and you put the URL here, because Amazon, if it finds out later that you're selling other places and you don't meet their conditions, that there are penalties that they implement on you. So better you might as well tell them in the beginning. Let's say in our case, we don't sell our books somewhere else. I'm going to say no, and then I'm going to click next. Now here, next step is it's brought us to our starting dashboard, okay? This is where when you first sign up, this is the dashboard as we see it, okay? So it's talking about creating our listings, our shipping rates, and our bank details, etc., okay? And then obviously once we have put all of that, we can launch our business. On the bottom, it's showing us videos where it can go step by step and show us how to list our products, how to do payments, etc. What we're going to do today is we're going to actually cover it, but we're not going to do it in this detail that these videos do it. The video links are there. So if you want exact step to step, you'll be able to go through the videos yourself, okay? So in this case, where we want to probably start off is probably set our shipping rates, right? Let's just make sure that our rates are set, then we'll look at putting our bank details, etc. So I'm going to say set rates, and here it is. Now this is something that it defaults in. For the sake of time, I'm going to say these are fine. I don't want to change this, okay? So I'm going to leave these rates, okay? Now I'm going to just go back, okay? So I say, you know what, this is fine. As far as listing my product, I'll list it later. For now, I'm okay. I'll first have to figure out how to list, what to list. So I'll wait on that. And lastly, we'll have to enter our bank details. To make things easier, we already did all of that and actually went ahead and launched the business. So let me go ahead and log into my account, which is actually active already, so that we can kind of show you with products live and all of that, okay? So let me log into that account.